Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jamie here from Sharonatsea. Hey, I have a question for you guys today. What do Martha Stewart, Queen Latifah, Rosie O'Donnell, the cast of The Love Boat, the Miami Dolphin cheerleaders, and Tinkerbell all have in common? Well, I'm going to give you the answer right after this. Hey, real quick, before we go any further, if you're into cruising content on YouTube, we'd love for you to consider subscribing to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you're always aware of any new content we're putting out here at Sharon at Sea. And don't forget to tune in every Monday night for a Monday Night Live cruise chat show. We sure appreciate it. Alright, so back to that question I hit you up with when you first started watching the video. What do all those folks have in common? They are all cruise ship godmothers, or godparents, if you will. So today we're going to talk a little bit about cruise ship godmothers. We're going to give you 15 pretty popular names of cruise ship godmothers that you may or may not have been aware of. Then we're also going to give you a couple names that might just surprise you a little bit. Hey, you've probably heard of this before, but it is quite a tradition to celebrate when there's a launching of a new ship. Now this dates back hundreds of years, whether it's a military ship, a commercial ship, maybe personal watercraft, or recreational travel ship, kind of like cruise ships. There's almost always a christening ceremony when that ship is launched or right before its initial inaugural sailing. I mean, you've probably got a visual right now of someone smashing a big bottle of alcohol, usually champagne, on the hull of the ship just before it sets sail in its initial voyage. Now, during these celebrations, one of the most esteemed roles someone can play is being named the godmother of the ship. Now, some will say the first true cruise ship godmother was Queen Elizabeth II herself. And coincidentally, she was named the godmother of a Cunard ship that was named after her. Now, this happened back in 1969, and since then, virtually every cruise ship has had quite a celebration, lots of pomp and circumstance, and every time there is a godmother there to break that bottle on the hull of the ship and send that ship on its way with good blessings, wishing it good luck and safe travels. Now, one of the first big screen legends to ever be named a godmother of a ship was Audrey Hepburn in 1989, when not only did she christen the cruise ship the Star Princess, but then she went ahead and hopped on it and took a 7-night cruise down to the Caribbean. Now, over the years, there have been many amazing women named as godmothers of cruise ships. Today we're going to hit you up with about 15 names. See if you recognize any of these ladies. And then, like I said earlier, at the end we're going to throw you a few names that might just surprise you. Alright, so let's start it off with one of the biggest names in cruise ship godmotherdom, if that's even a word. And that would be Hollywood legend Sophia Loren. Now, why is this such a big deal, you ask? Well, Sophia Loren hasn't been asked to be a godmother once, or twice, or even 3 times. Sophia Loren just recently christened her 14th MSC Cruise Line ship, the MSC Bellissima, earlier this year. And I guess MSC Cruise Lines believes that when you get it right the first time, why change it up? So that's right, not only is Sophia Loren the godmother of an MSC cruise ship, she's the godmother of virtually the entire fleet. Now here's another person you might have heard of, Queen Latifah. Now when I think of Queen Latifah, I think of some 80s hip-hop music and stuff like that. But nowadays she's doing a lot of different things, and currently she is the godmother for the Carnival Horizon. Now that means a little bit to us because we've already been on the Horizon, and in a few weeks we're going to be having our own Sharon at Sea group cruise on the Carnival Horizon. So that's pretty cool. Now here's a couple other names you may not have expected. Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen. Now yes, these two ladies, you may remember them from being on Full House, although usually it was just one at a time. Now they were named the godmothers of Holland America's MS Zaandam. Now I thought those two were pretty unique choices for a cruise line like Holland America. But when you see this picture, it looks like it was back in their younger years when they were sweet, innocent, and adorable. So good for you, Olsen twins. We like that y'all are into cruising. Another godmother is country music star and actress Reba McEntire. She was named the godmother of Norwegian Cruise Line's amazing ship, the Norwegian Epic. Here's another name you might have heard of. Actress, talk show host, comedian Whoopi Goldberg. Now Whoopi has been named the godmother of Royal Caribbean's Serenade of the Seas. And here's another Royal Caribbean godmother, Gloria Estefan, named the godmother of Royal Caribbean's Empress of the Seas. And I can only assume that Gloria did an amazing job because Royal Caribbean asked her back again when they named the godmother or the godparents of their amazing cruise ship, Oasis of the Seas. Now for this ship, not only did they have Gloria Estefan, one woman, but they actually named a total of 7. In addition to Gloria, you had Olympic athletes Michelle Kwan, Dara Torres, and Shawn Johnson. You also had very popular actress Jane Seymour. You had the adorable Rudy Huxtable. Oh wait, I'm sorry, she doesn't go by Rudy. She goes by Keisha Knight Pulliam. And of course, one of my favorite MTV VJs, Daisy Fuentes. Now, not to be outdone naming multiple people as godparents for a cruise ship, when Princess Cruise Lines came out with their cruise ship Regal Princess, they decided to call on the amazing television show The Love Boat to name their godmother. But they actually went with the theme of godparents because they enlisted the entire starring cast of The Love Boat to be the godparents of that ship. You remember Captain Steubing, Isaac, Gopher, Doc, Julie McCoy, and who could forget Captain Steubing's adorable daughter, Vicky Steubing. Now, when Princess Cruise Lines came out with the ship Ruby Princess, they called on some of the most popular people on television at that time. Now, you may or may not remember these names, but if you're a fan of the Bachelor or Bachelorette TV series, you'll know right away. That's right, they chose Trista, runner-up from the first Bachelor series, and Ryan, the winner of The Bachelorette. On a side note, congratulations Tristan and Ryan. You're one of the few couples from the Bachelor and Bachelorette series that are still together to this day with children, happy as can be. Must be your love of cruising that kept you together all these years. Now, Princess Cruise Line took the Emerald Princess when it came out, and it kind of went with the godmother, goddaughter scenario. And we've seen that Princess loves to get multiple names in the mix, so why not go ahead and take a couple of the most popular TV stars from back in the day. That's right, they had Mrs. Brady and her cute little daughter Cindy, and as if that's not enough, they went ahead and got Mrs. Cunningham and Joni, make an amazing foursome of godmother, goddaughter representatives for that beautiful ship, the Emerald Princess. Now, probably one of the most recent godmother appointments here that you may be familiar with is Norwegian Encore. It's actually a ship that's going to be coming out in November, a ship that Sharon and myself and Matthew are extremely excited to get on in November, and then follow it up with another cruise in January. But the Norwegian Encore named Kelly Clarkson as the godmother of that ship. You may remember her, like American Idol fame, singer, songwriter. She's been on, I think, The Voice. Now she has her own talk show. Megastar Kelly Clarkson, the godmother of the Norwegian Encore. Now, Disney Cruise Line only has 4 ships, but of those 4 ships, they named 2 of the most amazing singers of their time as godmothers. Disney Dream named Jennifer Hudson as a godmother, and the Disney Fantasy named Mariah Carey. Now, the last 2 godmothers I'm going to mention I think are pretty cool and some of the more impressive ones that are out there. And we've got to give it to Carnival Cruise Lines for naming these 2 ladies as godmothers of their ships. First, the Carnival Glory named Dr. Sally Ride as its godmother. And if you've heard that name before, it's because Dr. Ride was the first American woman ever in outer space. Now that is pretty awesome. Now the Carnival Vista has another amazing woman as a godmother, and that is Deshauna Barbara. Now Deshauna Barbara was a Miss USA when she was named godmother of the ship. Now that's pretty impressive on its own, but if you take a look at this picture, you'll see why it's even more impressive. Don't just call her Miss USA, you better call her Captain Miss USA, because Deshauna Barbara was a captain in the U.S. Army. Nice job, Carnival, for naming those 2 amazing women as godmothers. And there have been a lot more amazing women out there, but those are just 15 quick names that we thought you'd be familiar with. Now, at the beginning of this video, we told you we'd give you a couple names that might surprise you a little bit. Now, here's a good one for you. In 2005, Norwegian Cruise Lines named the godmother of their cruise ship the Norwegian Jewel. And that person was none other than the current First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump. That's right, that was back in the day when she first got together with Donald Trump. Before the reality TV shows, before the presidency. And you might be saying, well, Jamie, what's so surprising about that? Well, I'll tell you what, probably the most surprising part of that is a year later, in 2006, Norwegian Cruise Line had its ship Norwegian Pearl come out. And guess who was named as the godmother of that ship? That's right, Rosie O'Donnell. I mean, can you imagine being at one of those Norwegian get-togethers where they have all the godmothers in one room? You got Melania Trump on one side hanging out with Donald Trump. You got Rosie O'Donnell on the other. Man, that must have been a great time. I definitely would have loved to be a fly on the wall at that party. Now, Princess Cruise Lines had the Royal Princess ship come out, and the godmother for that ship was none other than Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge. Now, that name might sound familiar, but I think when I give you this name, it'll all come together. Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge, is also the very popular Kate Middleton. Now, over the years, many ladies of royalty have been named as cruise ship godmothers. Kate Middleton, I think, is the most recent one. Now, here's another one that surprised me, and it might surprise you. Royal Caribbean's megaship Allure of the Seas, well, they named another princess as their godmother. I'm not sure if this one qualifies as royalty, but it was Princess Fiona. That's right, you may remember her husband, Shrek, from the movie Shrek. That's right, the awesome green Princess Fiona, a cartoon character, is the godmother for Royal Caribbean's Allure of the Seas. But out of all the godmothers I found out about during my research for this video, the one that probably surprised me the most was not even a godmother, but a godfather. Now, there have not been many godfathers named for cruise ships over the years. I mean, there's been a couple men teamed up with other folks, but I'm not sure that I recall anyone where it's just one guy. But this particular guy, I mean, I think he represents everything that is amazing about cruising. I mean, it's a name synonymous with cruising. When you think about getting on a cruise ship and taking an amazing cruise, what do you think about? Who do you think about? None other than Pitbull. Yeah, that's right, Pitbull, the Miami superstar. So that one kind of threw me a little. I wasn't expecting to see Pitbull's name on a list of godparents for some of these most amazing cruise ships. Alright, so those are the names of a number of fantastic, pretty well-known cruise ship godmothers. You know, here at Sharonatsea, we always try to put together some original content for you guys. And this kind of came up and I said, you know what, this is kind of interesting. I felt like it was some good information to share with you guys. I hope you got a kick out of it. I hope you learned a couple of things. If there's a godmother, godfather, godparents out there that I didn't mention, feel free to drop that name in the comments below. Let me know who your favorite cruise ship godmother is. We'd love to hear from you. Now, before you check out of the video, we'd love you to consider subscribing to the channel. We've got a lot of new stuff coming out here at Sharonatsea, so make sure you hit the notification bell so you always know when there's new videos and new content coming out. I mentioned earlier, join us every Monday night for our Sharonatsea live cruise chat show. You can ask us all kinds of questions about cruising or anything else for that matter. We'd love to see you in the chat and say hi. Join us on Facebook at the Sharonatsea Cruise Crew. And from all of us here at Sharonatsea, myself, Sharon, Matthew, and everyone at Team SAS, we just want to say thanks a lot for watching and happy cruising.